We're going to go ahead and calculate an effect size for a t-test. Remember, your effect size is important. It tells you what percent of the variance of the dV you can explain through your model. And we're going to use the eta squared effect size. There's more than one type, okay? There's Cohen's d, which is probably much more popular, but I personally do not like Cohen's d because it doesn't tell you a whole lot. I would say go back to our course. Again, click on the online definitions and examples. Let me pull this over so you guys can see this a little bit. Right here, online definition examples. You click on that, takes you to this page, and we're looking for effect size, effect size, effect size. Look at that, effect size for a t-test. I would probably click here, and it takes you to the number 1, Cohen's d. But if you'll notice, Cohen's d looks just like a z-score. That's why I personally never use it. So I would probably go back to the Hawk 2 and start scrolling down to the t-test section. And effect size for a t-test. Right there, eta squared. Man, I have everything in here. So if you click on that, it's going to take you here. There is the formula for eta squared for a t-test. So we got to square the t-value. That's our numerator, and then we're going to add it. That's going to also be part of our denominator, and we're going to add the total number of the sample size. Okay, actually the degrees of freedom. So let's go back to our data set. So our effect size is going to be this. Going to pull up a calculator. It's going to be 2.271 squared. Remember that number, I'm just going to call it 5.16. And we're going to divide that by 5.16 plus, where's my plus? Plus degrees of freedom is 23. Close parentheses. So is that about right? Yeah, 5 plus 23. So this is going to be our eta squared, roughly about 18.4%. So that's close enough for me, 18.3%. So I'm going to check that one. See if that's the right answer. Get in there, you. And by gum, we got it right. So in other words, with this grouping model here that you have, you can explain about 18% in the dV, whatever the dV was, right? It was their weigh-in scale. So you can explain about 18% of the variance in their weigh-in scales. That's it. MGZ out.